Hello again. Today we are in Icon BR number 51. Specifically, this is one of the new old school edition Icon Broncos. So the idea behind this was where my normal, let's call it new school edition, is like sort of industrial, technical, and quite manly. With the old school, I wanted to be more like under the radar, more retro, more old school. So there you have it. It's the same engineering that you find in and under our standard Bronco new school, but I made about 40 changes to the design, all cosmetic, right? So like it's the same wiring harness, it's the same suspension, it's the same powertrain, but the actual tactile visual interface is quite different. What's cool about it is it brings like a different demographic into the brand. Specifically, like it's been all guys. We have very, very few female clients. But already with the old school Bronco, we have 2 lady clients, which is nice. In fact, this one is being built for a lady, and it's kind of fun. When we were talking through design and color, she sent us an older Tiffany jewelry box from some important moment in her life, and she's like, that's the color. So it was good fun. So we spectrum analyzed that Tiffany blue, and that is what you see on this vehicle. So, shall we begin with the exterior? So with the old school Bronco, you'll notice up front in the nose, we did not do the CNC'd Icon grille. In fact, we left it somewhat stock. Now, you had the Rangers, you had the Explorers, you had the Sports, you had all these different trim packages that Ford offered on the original Bronco. And what I did was, but of course still not factory correct, but I kind of picked and chose my favorite elements from those different packages. And then with old school, we're allowing the client a lot of involvement in that, like, you know, do you like the bright work around the windows? Do you like the 302 badges? What do you like? So just more creativity, and once we get the new Icon Bronco configurator live on the site, I think it'll be super fun because it's kind of like Nike ID and you can make it your own. So in this case, on the outside, we did do the traditional bright Ranger trim package. The nose we did in 2-tone, so we did the same ivory white that's picked up again on the wheels and on the roof cap. And we did also the FORD letters on the front. And the only place on the exterior that you will find any giveaway that it's Icon, other than hopefully the fit and finish, is the side badges on the fender, which I designed around the original Bronco typeface. And those are machined, and that's the only place you see ICON. Same with the rear, the tailgate. You have the white painted FORD letters. You have the stainless steel license plate carrier assemblage, and the tail lights with no taillight guards, but with trim, and those are still the Icon LED circuit boards. Headlights on these, I'm just having a hard time with LED. The LED housings have a certain protrusion to them, and if they don't have the protrusion, then they don't have the technology because they're just a normal housing that someone threw an LED bulb in, and the reflection and refraction is unique, so you don't end up with a good light that way. If you're going to do LED headlights, you really want one where the housing and the whole kit and caboodle was designed for LEDs. So on this truck, you'll notice we did the halogen headlights. You'll notice the rectangular lights in the grille. Those are not correct for this year, but I just can't get my head around those big tacky foam gasket thingies that are correct for this year. So we modify the grille no matter what year it is on an old school. We're going to have the design as you see it on this truck. We run the stock rear view mirrors and exterior door handles. That is standard now on the old school. And no tint on the glass. You'll notice a lot more shiny stuff. So the Brightwork inserts on the windshield, rear liftgate, and quarter glass is present, as is on the door upper frame structure around the window. We did the Brightwork there too. As you move on to the interior, you will notice that we have completely redesigned the dash. It's our own dash. We changed the angle a little bit so we can fit the Gen 4 Vintage Air, best of the best for heat vent AC. And then all the knobs and switches and switch function indication, bezels and all that. You'll notice a dash light, top dead in center, that's polished stainless. Steering column is also unique to the old school. I mean, it's not immediately obvious, but it's running a Ford spline so that we can run the vintage wheel. I chose a vintage Mustang wheel, and we have the capability of offering that in a wide range of colors, so it's kind of fun. Like in this case, you know, the column is the white to match the roof cap and the wheels and the dash, but then the wheel itself is that Tiffany blue, and then it's leather wrapped in the same leather used on the seating. The leather on the seats comes from our buddies at Moore & Giles, and then the textile on this one was super fun, so I did a ton of research once we picked the color, and it took a while, but I had good fun finding a textile that had that same vibe and color map, and really happy with it. Gauges, again, same as the Dakota Digital. That's been our partnership on these gauges. So the circuit board and all the behind the scenes stuff is the same as New School, but the aesthetic of it I designed much closer inspiration to the original gauges. And we're going to do that white with black lettering or black with white lettering, depending on the design of the truck. Door panels, cargo panels, totally unique to this model. So started from scratch, so different laser cut marine boards, and then obviously they're wrapped in the leather or vinyl and fabric. But the design layout of them is again much more like the originals. Neat detail that I've been wanting to do ever since my wife had an Audi A8. I love the way they do like diffused nighttime environment lighting. So inside there's like a routed channel on the bottom of those spears where we put a ton of LED light strips. So at night it's super subtle, very low output, and you just get a nice soft glow in the interior. And then when you open the door, they go on full bright, and it's bright enough to give you light on the floor to complement the light from the amp research steps. Just a nice detail, I think. For the window regulator handles, there's 3 versions on the original Broncos, and I simply just picked my favorite, and that's what we ran with. Door cups, seat trims, all of the aluminum stuff we normally use on the New Schools, the same here, but it, as well as the console and other trim biddies, are all powder coated in kind of a more invisible sort of gray texture tone powder. Rear seat, this one has the tuck and tumble rear seat audio system. This has the Mac Daddy audio, so the highest end, the K2 focal speakers. The good old Pioneer 8200 NEX with CarPlay, Bluetooth, SAT radio, CD, yada yada yada. Bass is hiding underneath the driver's seat. And that's about it. You know, on this one, I had questions for you guys. I didn't put the 302 badges on it because I just liked it. It seemed clean without them. And I did put the Icon New School style visors. What do you think of those 2 decisions? I'm already second guessing the visors. As much as I love the functionality of them, they just seem too modern. They seem out of place on the truck. And the 302 badge, what do you think? Should I put them on? Should I leave it off? I just cannot decide. Mechanically, quick rundown. Obviously, we're running the current production Coyote 5-liter aluminum V8 fuel injected as found in the current production Mustang GT. We're running the Ford AOD automatic tranny with overdrive, which sends power through to the Atlas II twin stick shift on the fly part-time 4-wheel drive transfer case. Almost said Megget. Axles, Dana 60 Pro Rock high pinion in the rear, and a custom Dana 44. Both of those are built by Dynatrac for us. We're running the tunable sport suspension. We are running the Icon Sport brakes developed by Brembo. Those are Hydro Boost powered. We're running the usual boreless stainless steel exhaust. This is the quieter version, but we left it raw stainless because it seemed a bit more retro. So that's all I got. Thanks for your time. Much obliged. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Old school telephone, 818-280-3333. Websites, icon4x4.com, icon4x4 on Twitter and Instagram. Facebook's icon4x4 or Jonathan Ward. Peace out.